welcome back to episode 9 of Golf, Goals and Grapplers. Special one today.
What are we talking about, Bull?
We are talking about the Ryder Cup and golf in general.
Ryder Cup special.
Ryder Cup special. Talking about our own golf swings, which I'm not looking forward to. But just for people that don't know, let's start with an intro on the Ryder Cup and what it is.
Yeah, so there might be some people who's like, I've never watched the Ryder Cup. Specifically if you're not a massive golf fan. But do you know what, right? I was saying to Christian in the car, massively consider just having a bash on the Ryder Cup. So it's happening in a couple of weeks' time at the end of September. And I think does it kick off? Does it go Friday, Saturday, Sunday? It's only a 3-dayer. And it mixes sort of everything that you like about golf, but then it also mixes in the atmosphere of a football game.
Yeah.
Because it's Europe. Every players are eligible from Europe against players from America, and it's essentially a team tournament.
As team orientated as it is, there are a lot of singles aspects in there as well, which makes it even more interesting. Obviously, biannual, so every 2 years. This one's in Europe in Rome, and then the next one in 2 years' time will be in America.
So how would you get picked to be on the teams for the Ryder Cup?
There's a few ways. So obviously ranking points throughout the season.
Okay.
So you'll get ranking points depending on how well you've done in events. And so you get FedEx points, European Tour points, all the rest of it. And there's loads of fucking algorithms around how you calculate points. But each team do it differently. So I believe Europe, their top 6 players in points are automatically picked for the team. Top 8, and then the captain of the European team gets 4 wildcard picks, and they get to pick whoever they want.
Okay.
And I think USA do it slightly differently, don't they? Do 6 and 6.
USA do 6 and 6.
6 on points and 6 captains picks. Yeah. Which they changed that a few years ago to give the Americans a lot of autonomy, and I think it's because something weird happened where they really wanted their stalwarts in the team like Mickelson and that lot, but they were getting to the end of their career, they were playing less events, and therefore they weren't making enough ranking points.
No, so they limited the number of automatic places to 6, and then the captain could pick 6 players that he wanted.
I'm just looking at the teams now, and I think they've done the same for Europe this year.
No, it's 8 and 4.
Well, they've got down here that they've got 6 and 6.
Right.
On the team, so they must have changed it.
So both 6 and 6.
So both gone for 6 and 6.
So the good thing is, mate, is day one you'll get people paired up, and you play foursomes on the morning, and then you play 4 balls on the evening.
Yeah.
So foursomes on the morning is you play 1 ball. Each pair plays 1 ball all the way down the holes. In the afternoon, they all play their own ball, but they're all still paired up in foursomes. And then I believe that happens again on the Saturday.
Yeah.
And then it really ramps up on the Sunday because it's singles. So all 12 players get paired up against an opposing player, and it's match play.
It does sound good.
It's great.
I'm looking forward to that.
I love the format.
I'm looking forward to that format.
So I was looking at the teams, and I wrote down some controversial or surprise names from both teams.
Yeah. Who are you starting with?
Europe. Let's start with Europe. Ludwig Adberg.
Yep.
Shane Lowry. And Seb Straka.
So they're all wild cards, aren't they?
I think Seb Straka should be in because he's actually done really well on the PGA Tour.
He has done well. Yeah.
Some high finishes. I believe Shane Lowry is a little bit of what I call a bit of a nostalgic pick.
Yeah.
You know, like he used to pick Poulter and Westwood even though they were way past their best.
Yeah.
So I think he's that. And then the Ludwig guy, I'll be honest, I know nothing about.
So he's been a pro I read upon him, he's been a pro for 3 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Has he won a tournament or something?
Yeah, he's won big tournaments, and he's currently, last time I checked anyway, he was leading the BMW Championship at Wentworth.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's some going to get picked as a wild card.
So by the sounds of it, and he's had a lot of people that have vouched for him and said, look, he's a great player. He's got a lot of talent. He's a young kid. Why not? Give him a shout.
I think sometimes, especially in the format you've just said there, take a punt on somebody because anything can happen.
Certainly on the 4 balls, he can get away with it because if he's playing 4 balls and he's playing his own ball, his partner can save him.
Well, bear in mind that there's only four in the foursomes and the 4 balls. There's only 4 groups that go off, so only 8 players play. So you can genuinely get to a Sunday where some of your lower wildcard picks don't actually play until the singles.
Yeah.
They could just not end up playing, but it depends, doesn't it? So looking at that then, and obviously looking at the Americans pick, killer question, who's got the deeper roster?
America.
Do you think?
Yeah. I mean, so the 3 controversial picks that I've picked for them, or surprise picks, Sam Burns, although he's had a very good season. Justin Thomas, who's had a stinking season.
He's dropped way off.
And Ricky Fowler, who's just finding his way back, but who's a wild card.
I think I would agree that the USA looks stronger from my knowledge of people.
When you look at the players that USA haven't picked, someone like Dustin Johnson or
Bryson DeChambeau.
or Patrick Reed.
How much of that is the whole live question?
Well, I was going to ask this.
They picked Brooks Koepka.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Have they gone for live? But then I've just obviously seen that Brooks Koepka's in there.
The problem with Brooks is they didn't really have a choice because he won the major.
Yeah.
So you have to pick him whether he's live or not.
Yeah.
For me, I don't think you should be disadvantaged if you play for live. You should still be playing in the Ryder Cup.
If anything, the live players are at an advantage because they play 3 days anyway.
Yeah, less roster, a bit fresher.
So where do you stand with the fact that Svensson got kicked off as being captain then because of live? But yeah, and Brooks Koepka's in there.
Well, Stenson got kicked off the captaincy when live was an idea.
All the rage.
In its infancy, and it was all the rage.
It shouldn't matter, should it? If they've accepted it or they've got people on there that's from live, then why would not have him as captain?
Because they can't change it. It was too late to change it.
Yeah, but I agree. You want to talk about the overarching principle?
Yeah.
That it shouldn't affect anything. If you go on another tour, just like if you played on the Asian tour, you should be able to play in any major, any Ryder Cup. There should be no rules against that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. Yeah.
Agree totally.
Equally as well, I'm really surprised that DeChambeau didn't get the nod after he's just shot 61.58.
Yeah.
Like he's massively in form.
Yeah.
Did Lucas Glover get in by the chance? He's just won 2 FedEx Cups events back to back.
Keegan Bradley didn't get in. Apparently, Lucas Glover got told that he was in, or he was going to get picked, and then Tim Ransom said, "No, you're not getting picked now."
So, is there anyone in America's team that you would class as a nostalgic pick?
Justin Thomas.
Yeah, I agree.
He's had an absolute shocking season.
Second half of the season, he's had a shocker.
He's had a shocking season, and there are plenty of other players who could have been picked instead.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think Sam Burns is a wild card. I think he's had a great season.
No, he's had a good season. He's one of them names where probably not a surprise pick, but he's a name that some people won't be familiar with.
Yeah.
Which and the same with Seb Straka. Seb Straka's had a great season on the PGA Tour. Played really well. But yeah,
it's mad that DJ and Bryson are not in it.
Yeah,
it's Cam Young as well.
Cam Young,
great player.
Yeah,
Cam Young's missed out, hasn't he?
Patrick Reed's missed out.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, some of those ones that have missed out will be to do with the live. Like you said, they've taken Brooks because of what he's achieved.
Yeah, because he's a major win.
But the other ones, they're quite easy. If they haven't won anything, it's quite easy to go, well, it's because they haven't won anything.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, Lucas Glover won 2 FedEx events back to back.
Is he live?
No.
Oh well, that's different though, isn't it?
Do you know what's weird is it almost doesn't matter who you pick, right? And I'll tell you why. Because you've got players like McIlroy and other players in the past who have been like household names, and actually their head-to-head record in Ryder Cups is shit.
Yeah.
Like they've won like out of a possible 6 points, they've won like half a point.
Yeah.
Like, by the way, you cannot, if you draw, you get half a point.
Right. Okay.
That's what I meant. So yeah, it definitely like some people are absolute beasts at match play, like Ian Poulter.
Yeah.
Never won a major.
Patrick Reed's the same.
Yeah, great.
He's a beast at match play.
They really relish that head-to-head, hole-to-hole combat.
Yeah.
And that's why it's great to watch.
I remember watching McIlroy, Patrick Reed had an absolutely storming singles event. It was just so close, and it was getting fiery, and they were trying to calm it down.
Love it.
Really,
that's what you need, isn't it?
And I'm sure they said that in that one, they were both playing that well, that if it was a proper stroke play game, they'd have all been like fucking 9 under through like 13.
Yeah.
Like they were both flying. It was great to watch.
And another one as well, just to talk about historical Ryder Cups. 2010 at Celtic Manor was good.
Yep.
The Medina one,
Miracle in Medina,
which always stands out, and the European domination, which I think was in Scotland. The 2014 Glen Eagles, I think it was.
Yeah,
they had the same. It was Europe dominated.
Yeah, but then the last Ryder Cup 2 years ago,
Australia,
America battered them.
Yeah, absolutely smashed.
They had a deeper squad. I think they're slightly deeper. Although I will say, when you look at Europe's top 3 or 4 players,
some talent there.
McIlroy, Hovland.
Should we go through each player on each team and what are they going to bring to the table? Like what's
reel the squad out?
Yeah, so let's go through that then. So I'll reel the squad out. So we'll go through Europe first.
There'll be some players that you know what they bring to the table, but then there'll be other players and you think, oh, Yeah, not really sure about that.
Yeah, let's go through that. Let's dissect it. So, first one, McIlroy.
Yeah, standard.
Standard. I feel like McIlroy's a bit like the Salah of golf, where he's clearly class and an amazing player, but he just comes up short sometimes. When he wants to be. It's like Salah will show up for 3 games and then you never see him again. And I feel like McIlroy, he's there or thereabouts, but like we said before, he's struggled to win those majors, hasn't he? So.
I'm gonna say something controversial in the golf world.
Oh, go on.
I don't think McIlroy is a good enough putter to be a Ryder Cup clutch player.
That's fair. Okay. It's not controversial.
He's an unbelievable player, and the reason he's so good is because even when he's playing not well, he still comfortably finishes 4th, 5th, 6th.
He's still there or thereabouts.
He's still in the top.
And
top
but
5.
the problem is, he's always just there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Like, when are you going to break through and
just storm through
win 4 or 5 majors in 3 years? Yeah.
Do you think he's ever going to do that though? Now?
No, because he's not a good enough putter.
Yeah.
He's not a good enough putter.
So he's not bringing the putt into the game then?
And his wedges have been quite bad this season as well. His wedge play, I think, is about 150th on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
He's not been good with his wedges. Look, I don't doubt that he's not an incredible player. Equally as well, though, he's that big that it's just massive that he's there.
Yeah.
For the European team, it's massive that he's there.
Who's next?
John Rahm.
I mean, speaks for himself.
Animal.
Absolute speaks
Class
for
all
himself.
over in it, really.
And Spanish as well.
Yeah.
And
Those Spanish hands.
Those Spanish hands,
Spanish
mate.
hands.
They love they love a competition.
Yeah, they do.
Like Garcia, Ballesteros, or Lazabal.
Yeah.
So is there anything about his game that you think he's going to struggle on in this kind of format?
He can get a bit wayward with a driver, but when you look at Marco Simone, which is the course in Rome, it's tight-ish in places, but, I mean, he can do what he wants with the golf ball. He can draw it, he can fade it. Like, just let him crack on.
The benefit of this course at the Ryder Cup, few Americans have played it. So Europe have got a massive advantage. A lot of the time, when it's in Europe, there are some courses that Americans won't have played. So they'll go out and they'll try and prepare as much as you can. Whereas they have European Tour events at Marco Simone.
Yeah.
Whereas in America, they'll be played at courses that everyone plays on a regular basis.
This Marco Simone course has been completely redesigned for this Ryder Cup. No one's played on it. It was brand new a couple of months ago.
But they've seen it. Europeans have seen it and they know what it's about. And it'll be different.
I heard something the other day that the USA haven't won on European soil for about 70 years. Something like that. Is that?
I don't think it's that long, but I think it's a good few decades.
It's a fair while. Yeah.
So that'd be interesting.
Who's next?
Okay, Victor Hovland.
Hovland is another one very similar to McIlroy when it comes to his putting. If his putter's ice cold, then he'll struggle on singles. But from tee to green, beast.
And you can't deny that he's the most informed player in the world right now.
Absolutely.
Like, he's just won the FedEx Cup.
Yeah.
He's absolutely flying.
Yeah.
So I think he's amazing. But
he's found his game. It's switched on now.
You're right. When his putter's cold, it's cold.
I like his golf style as well. Always looks good.
Do you know what's
always
weird?
looks good on the course.
It was when he was very young and he very first broke through. He played American golf at college.
Yeah.
And when he first broke through, I think we watched him for about a year and we had a conversation and you text me and you was like, mate, this young Hovland kid, mate, he's going to be massive. He's going to win a major. And it hasn't quite happened for him yet.
No,
but
he's coming.
He's there,
he's coming. He's that good. He's very good.
How old is he?
He's only 24, 25
very
years
young.
old. Yeah, he's not old.
Yeah, he's very good. And he's always there or thereabouts, isn't he? He's always in the top 5.
Yeah.
Who's next?
So, Tyrrell Hatton.
Tyrrell Hatton.
Is he bringing the rage?
Tyrrell Hatton's downfall is his temperament.
He doesn't have the mentality.
No, his temperament is shocking.
He's bringing the hoodies and the rage, isn't he? That's what he does.
Yeah. So I'm sceptical about that pick.
He knows he qualified.
Well, he's qualified, isn't he? Yeah. So he's done
I'm sceptical that he's there.
Yeah, I get that.
Who else have we got?
Matt Fitzpatrick.
Steady hand.
Great.
He is the James Milner of golf.
Utility man.
He's had a bit of a drop off year. Obviously, won the US Open the year before. He's struggled with parts of his game, but don't think you can doubt that he should be there.
No.
Yeah. I think really, in terms of if you've qualified, you can't doubt any of them should be there, can you? Because if it's done by points, then you're arguably the best.
Agreed.
European player at the time. Last one is this is someone I'm not familiar with. So Rob McIntyre.
Yeah, Scottish kid, left-hander.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Left-hander shouldn't be there.
He don't massively play a lot on the PGA Tour.
No,
he has sort of played more on the DP World Tour.
He's very good though.
But he's a very good player, mate. I watched him. Did he win in Dubai or in Abu Dhabi or something? And he's got most of his points. Was he captain's pick or was he?
No, he's last qualifier.
So he was last qualifier, yeah. So I was just going to say he'll have picked up most of his points on the DP World Tour.
So if he plays DP World Tour and he's in the Ryder Cup team, why isn't he playing PGA? Is that his choice?
Yeah, it's up to him.
Yeah, it's up to
Really?
him. Doesn't have to
Why
play.
wouldn't you though?
He does play some PGA Tour
But
events.
just not all of them. Does he play the majors?
Maybe he don't, because he still lives in Scotland with his mum and dad.
Right.
So maybe he genuinely thinks I'd rather play golf in Europe than I would living in America.
Yeah, probably prefers the home.
Fair
life.
play.
And a lot of people like to do it. Like, if you think Fleetwood, Justin Rose, and all them lot, they play the first 3 or 4 years on the DP World or European Tour, as it used to be called, and then you go across and do a full schedule on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
As you get a bit more mature.
Cool. So we're going to the captain's picks now. So we've got Shane Lowry.
Yeah, nostalgic pick.
Yeah, I don't
Irish
like that
hands.
pick. Don't like it.
He has got Irish hands.
He has. He's got Irish everything, but I don't like it.
You don't like it? I like Shane. I think his short game is class.
I like him.
I think he's a solid player.
Shouldn't have been picked.
Who would you have picked over him?
Nick Faldo.
Hey.
Who was that? There was I forgot his name. Austrian guy who was playing real Adrian Moronk.
Yeah, he just missed out, didn't he?
Yeah, he's in far better form than Shane Lowry is.
Cam Smith.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. He's got a British dad.
Get him in somehow.
Yeah.
I'll shoot on him in any golf.
Yeah, Tiger Woods.
Golf comp. Tiger Woods.
Who's next?
So we've got Tommy Fleetwood. I love Tommy Fleetwood.
Yep. Good pick for me.
Yeah, I mean you can't.
He's a
Very
solid
good player. He will
Solid
break
player.
through. He will win a big tournament next year, whether that be one of the big PGA Tour events or he might sneak a major, but he's
How old is
ready.
he as well? Because I feel like he's been around a while.
27, 28.
So he's still in his prime.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is prime for golf?
Well, that's the thing. Now it's diet and nutrition and flexibility and all this stuff that people do and wearing these health wristbands and stuff. Your prime now for me as a golfer is sort of 32 to 38.
yeah.
That's where you're in your absolute peak.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's still
Much
got
later
way
than football.
to go.
Yeah.
Way to go. Good. Okay, Justin Rose.
Justin Rose got in.
Yeah.
He's another one where you think he's a bit nostalgic. He's played well recently, but he's almost a nostalgia pick where he's been around the block. He's probably there for experience more than anything
Experience. It's an experience pick. He's
Experience
just
in
a-
name because people will recognise Justin
else.
Rose.
He probably won't play a lot. He might play like one or he'll certainly play the singles, but he might play one other thing instead.
Yeah, but his head-to-head record in Ryder Cups might be really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you play different? Like, not everyone's going to play the same thing all the way through
No.
a Ryder Cup.
No,
then, so you
yeah.
can pick and
So
choose who
the-
you
yeah,
want
the
to
cap-
pick
the
each
captain-
time.
Yeah, the
Captain
captain
picks.
decides who plays each day, apart
Oh,
from
wow.
Sunday when everyone plays.
So could you like be benched and just not play at all?
I said that earlier.
Did you?
You can get benched until the Sunday potentially. They try
wow.
not to. They try and get you out in the four
trying
balls
to include everyone.
or the foursomes. Yeah.
I suppose if you picked him, there's a reason you picked him, surely. So you want to get him out there in
Yeah.
some capacity, wouldn't you? Okay. We've got Sepp Straka. You think you talked about him earlier, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think he's done enough to be in that.
Good
player.
Yeah.
Nikolai Højgaard.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I like him and I like his brother as well.
Yeah. But his brother's unlucky not to get
I know.
picked.
Yeah.
Erasmus.
Yeah.
That's his name.
Is it really?
Yeah,
All
that's his
right.
name. Yeah.
I thought I was taking a piss.
I thought you were taking a piss.
fucking the
No.
Man United striker.
I was like, yeah.
No,
He's shite as well.
Erasmus Højgaard. Both.
Yeah.
They're twin brothers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Twins. Both very good players.
I mean, what's stopping one of them turning up one day, one of them turning up the next day, and no one
Yeah.
knowing?
I think
Maybe that's why they've done
I think
it.
they've got different
Yeah.
colour hair.
Yeah, well, he just died, hasn't he? So it's all right. You could get with it.
There we go.
And then obviously Ludwig Aberg.
Yeah, Ludwig Abberg's I don't really know a great deal about him.
So, like you say, it's a weird one if he's only been pro for 3 months. But
I know he's
why
played,
not?
I know he's played well in those 3 months too.
Yeah.
And
If he's full of
looks good.
confidence and he's proper up for it and he's a young lad,
The thing is as well,
Go for it.
Luke Donald, who's the captain, plays on the DP World Tour where he's seen him play, so he knows what it's about.
It's just popped in my head. Is the American captain Zach Johnson?
That's the fella.
Yes.
That's the fella. Cool. That's a European solid team.
cool.
European
Yeah, so
team.
happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who we got for the USA?
So we'll go for the qualified ones first. So Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, standard. You know
Never
what he's
ending.
bringing.
Never in doubt that one,
Do you
was
know
it
what?
really?
Let's hope Scotty's putting is as freezing as it normally is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he dominates from tee to green.
That's the.
Yeah.
If his putting was on fire, he would dominate every competition.
Do you know what though? I vividly remember where a FedEx Cup where he had a 6-shot lead going into the final round and McIlroy closed him down and won the FedEx
yeah.
Cup. And I just think I'd love to see McIlroy Scheffler on Sunday
I think-
for like a really important point.
I think he's a player where if you put him under pressure in a match play situation, he could crumble because
Yeah.
his putt would just go high score.
Why do you think the putters are cold though? Like there's obviously McIlroy you've said there, Hovland, and now Scotty Scheffler. Why are these great players? Why are the putters so cold?
It just depends, doesn't it? I mean, it depends on the day.
You've also got to realise as well, like, I read a stat where something like, on a putting stroke, if your stroke pull back on your stroke is sort of half a degree out, it affects like 3 degrees going forward, and then you put a slightly closed or you put a slightly open and you're not hitting your lands.
Yeah.
So unless you're putting really smoothly, that's why your putter can be freezing.
Yeah.
Equally as well, how many PGA Tour players do you see that putt right and they actually putt and they say, I've putted ball really well all day, but just one didn't drop.
Yeah.
They burn edges of the holes. Scheffler just pushes a lot of putts and pulls a lot of putts.
Yeah.
I suppose putting is the most precision part of the sport, isn't it?
Where, without doubt.
Knocking it up and down the fairway, you've got a big chunk to play with, haven't you?
You'd want to play foursomes with him, because from tee
Get you to the green.
From tee, from tee to green's class.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't want him to put. Who's next?
Wyndham Clark.
Good player, Wyndham Clark.
Yeah, I like Wyndham Clark.
He won the US Open, didn't
He did. Hasn't done a lot since then, though.
No, he's not. No.
But in for the major win.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
He's
player.
all right.
Good
Yeah.
player. Had a good
Happy
season.
with that.
Steady.
This next one, I'm not looking forward to his wiggles, but Brian Harman.
Oh, God.
Don't like him.
I mean, he's in because he won the Open. I mean, his pre-shot routine is painful.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. This might last like 4 days,
Yeah,
not 3.
that's true. Yeah,
if he's doing that.
Can you imagine playing with him or behind him?
No. The
Fucking hell.
less said
Yeah.
about him, the better. Don't like that prick.
And he's left-handed. Like, no one likes a left-hander.
No.
Yeah, like-
He looks boring, doesn't he? He looks like a boring guy.
Like Rob McIntyre.
Yeah.
So we're moving swiftly on.
Swiftly on.
Patrick Cantlay.
He's another one with the
Slowest player on tour.
Yes.
Not even. I'm being genuine.
Is he one that holds people up?
He's the slowest player on tour, and people go mad. Like Brooks Koepka, and that you say is like he should be penalised. He should be penalty shots for being so long.
Can you imagine if you're playing foursomes or four ball with Brian Harman and Patrick Cantlay against you?
Oh God, be like a 6-hour round.
Why is he so long though? Is it just his
Pre-shot routine,
Pre-shot routine and-
idiosyncrasies, like
yeah.
he's so slow, and that's what makes him boring. Because I'm sure he's like ranked 4th in the
Yeah,
world.
he's a good player. He's just boring as fuck.
But yeah, good player.
Cool.
Good
player.
I mean,
I mean,
stats wise, he's
Nice,
very
nice,
consistent.
nice guy.
Again, qualifies, he must be.
Yeah.
Max Homer.
I like Max
I
Homer.
like
I
Max
like
Homer.
Max.
He's funny.
He's got something about him.
Yeah, he's funny as
got
You're
well.
thinking of Homer Simpson, mate.
Oh, in that case, I don't know who you're about.
Yeah, I quite like Max. He looks like a solid player.
He's got that charisma about him.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got some charisma.
That it factor about it. Where you
He's
think,
funny in interviews as well.
Yeah, he is. I saw him got paired up with is it Joel Damon in an event, and he hates Joel Damon, and he turned on and went, I can't believe I've been paired up with this fucking guy. What am I going to do for 2 days?
It was real funny because at the Open, he got paired with Rory McIlroy.
Yeah.
And they were asking Max in the interview, what was it like playing with Rory? And he was like, do you know what? It was great because no one was watching me. He said, everyone was watching Rory.
pressure.
Yeah.
He said, but do you know what? He said, the good thing was, he said, I hit a shot ahead of Rory, and then I hit the green, and he said a couple of the Rory fans like booed me, and he said, do you know what? He said, I was just real happy that they booed me because at least they were watching me.
At least, yeah. At least he was watching his shot.
responded.
He's a funny guy.
Oh, yeah, looking forward to that, and that's good. So excuse the pronunciation of this one. Xander Schauffele?
On the show.
Schauffele.
Solid.
Yeah, very good player, unfortunately.
Solid.
A lot of depth in the middle on USA's team.
Yeah.
That I think that's the difference, because if you look at the top 3 or 4 marquee players, very even. But it's the middle.
Yeah.
America's middle is stronger.
Middle to the bottom.
Yeah.
Next one.
Still think we'll do them though.
Of course we will. JT, Trouser Snake.
Nostalgic pick.
Yeah. Don't know why he's been picked.
Picked
Justin
on, picked
Thomas.
on merit rather than not picked on merit, picked on reputation. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. And then you got Brooks Koepka.
I mean, you know what you get with Brooks
Great
Koepka.
player.
He's a funny guy as well.
Yeah.
I like the way he handles himself. He don't give a
The
shit, does
biggest
he?
arms in golf.
Honestly, as
Yeah.
well. Like if they, it's by the way, it looks like they're keeping Live going next year, so we'll have to do Live London again.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
looks like it's a thing.
Nice.
But when we went to watch Brooks Koepka at Live, like he just walks so slowly.
Yeah.
He's got the pace of someone who looks like they've got 200 million in the bank,
Do you know
and they
what-
don't have a care.
Just
in the
don't
world.
care.
Do you
Just
know
go
what
up hitting the ball,
Do
walking.
you know what I liked about him? He ambled.
Yeah, he does.
He just ambles round without a care in
But
the
still
world.
plays quickly.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
He gets his club, one practice stroke,
One look,
hits it,
done.
And then moves on.
and then fucking slowly walks off
Yeah.
like a man who's a millionaire.
I like it.
And he also is an exit when he's on form. He's a bit like McIlroy, right? If every single player on tour played their best golf, McIlroy would win that event, and Brooks Koepka would finish second. and everyone else would finish in the pack.
Can't agree with that.
And
I can't disagree with that.
He's another guy where his style is on point as well. He always looks class on the course.
He's a cool motherfucker,
Yeah,
isn't
He
he?
is.
Yeah.
Ice cool.
100%.
Who else we got?
Jordan Spieth.
I like Spieth, but
Bit of a return, innit? Bit of a return of the Mac.
Yeah, but he's not really done a lot, has he?
Is it a bit like a Justin Thomas pick? You think it's a bit more of name and
No, he was worse. When we say Spieth dropped off,
He fell off.
he fell off a cliff, mate. He dropped into like the out of the top 250 in the world. I got the gips in his string. Did nothing for like 4 years, and then in the last sort of 18 months, he's had a bit of a renaissance.
Clawing it back. He's one. If his putter's on fire, you're not beating him in match play.
Fair enough. I like this next pick, Colin Morikawa.
Yeah, I love Colin Morikawa. What a
Amazing
Great player.
What a player.
Yeah, great
I
player.
love
And
watching him play.
I'm surprised that he hasn't kicked on from those 2 majors
Yeah.
he won early doors.
Yeah.
Me too.
I thought he would have won a couple more by now, but it's hard to win a major.
Is it?
I know firsthand.
I was going to say, yeah, you know, dear.
I've never finished in the top 1,000.
You've got the
at a
claret
major.
jug at home, haven't you?
I mean, I have, yeah. Well, no,
Well,
it's in the boot of my car.
We could have that up on the wall.
Yeah, we'll get
Hang
the
the
claret,
claret jug,
jug, WWF Championship belt.
Yeah. And the Premier League.
That's a great question for the wrestling pod. Is what's your favourite belt? Anyway, let's move on.
We'll come back to that one. Sam Burns.
Great player.
Yeah,
You said you was a bit dubious about this pick, didn't you, Bull?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a very good season, a very, very good season, but he's a name that a lot of people don't know. If you're not a casual golf fan,
I know him.
I know you know him.
I suppose it's definition of wild card, isn't it? It's a wild card pick.
It's a bit wild.
He's one of those people I think, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Do you know if I wanted to watch the world burn, like the Joker, I would have picked Mickelson. For fucking banter, mate. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Could go
Uproar.
lefty v lefty.
If I wanted to watch the world burn, I'd pick VJ Singh.
Feature Singh's on the senior tour, right? He's actually very good on the senior tour.
Do you know who else is class on the senior tour? Bernard
Woods.
Langer.
Bernard Langer's been amazing for years. He's won like 6 senior
Yeah,
majors.
he's class.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Last wild card, Ricky Fowler.
Yeah, I mean,
he's on form at the minute.
Ricky Fowler's found his game again, which is good because I like Ricky Fowler.
Yeah, and he's a cool
Genuinely
guy.
nice
Isn't he?
Yeah.
So-
I listened to his interview on Rich Shields, and he was great on that.
Yeah, I don't begrudge him being picked, but equally, I think there might be a few people that feel aggrieved by him and JT being picked.
I'd prefer him being picked over Justin Thomas. To be fair, it makes more sense.
So based on that, then, do you feel that USA are probably odds-on favourite?
I think it'll be a draw.
Fucking hell, mate! If you bang a tenner on that, because you'll get some odds for draw. Because they've never like you want to think there's going to be a draw like
Honestly,
13 all or
I think
whatever.
it'll be a draw. Yeah.
Do you know what I think? I think squad depth, America edge it, but the fact it's in Europe means I think the Europeans will win for the European factor.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm not sure about? If this was in the UK, the crowd in France as well, they had a great crowd. I'm not sure what the crowd in Italy is going to be like.
Mate, 80% of the Italian crowd will be British.
Can you imagine if you just
Everyone will be over there.
Can you imagine just turn up and you've got like Juventus ultras just standing in the crowd?
Have you seen the grandstand for the first tee? It's the biggest ever grandstand for a Ryder Cup. Honestly, if you watch, I watch a golf podcast, Peter Finch.
Yeah, I like Peter Finch.
He does a bit of work with Rick Shields.
Yeah.
He's recently just played Marco Simone. They let him play it. He was the first player to play it since they got it ready for the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
And obviously by then all the stands have been built. And honestly, the stands around the first tee, mate.
Nice.
Wild.
I'll have to watch that.
5,000-6,000 people around the first tee.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fucking huge. And do you know what's great about the Ryder Cup is, you know, you have to fall deadly silent for every shot. But at the Ryder Cup, some players tell you to keep it up as they hit their shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, mate, it's great.
Bubba Watson.
Who was the first to do it?
I think it was Bubba Watson.
Was it Bubba Watson? Who was just
Poulter.
like, keep it going, keep the crowd going while I hit my shot.
It was one of them. Bubba Watson or Ian Poulter.
If 6,000 people watching me take my tee shot, I would do an air swing.
Mate,
I'm pretty certain.
Mate, you don't like it when me and him watch.
No, I don't like anyone watching.
Speaking of golf swings, we recorded our own.
You did, yeah?
We did. So, I mean, we haven't been out playing golf for about 3 or 4 weeks, 3 weeks,
Yeah, it's
4
been-
weeks. But the last time we played was about
all together.
Yeah, altogether was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we just took a bit of an analysis of our golf swings. So we took a slow motion video of our driver swing and our iron swing.
Are these getting uploaded onto the pod?
Yeah, so for those of you that are not listening on Spotify and watch this on YouTube, I will overlay our swings when we talk about them, because obviously slowing your swing straight down tells you a lot.
Yeah.
So obviously did a slow-mo of everybody's swing. Now, a little bit of a caveat is you can't really use Christian's iron swing because it was a shank.
True.
So that throws off the whole swing. Just thought I'd say that.
I think even the driver one was a shank as well, but it looked
wasn't
better.
bad. It was a decent
Yeah,
connection.
do you know what, right?
Went left though.
So, with your driver swing, right, the takeaway was great.
His takeaway is the first quarter of the takeaway, mate. I'm not just bigging him up. It's fucking textbook.
The first quarter of the whole swing's great.
Yeah.
The rest of it,
When
not
you say
so much.
first quarter, how far is that up?
So it's sort of
About up
it's
to
sort
shoulder
of,
level.
So
No,
say
probably
you're,
like
you're
hip.
at a dress.
Yeah.
It's sort of 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then,
like
so
hip
that
height.
first quarter of your swing is actually textbook. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
And then
And then it all goes to shit after that.
And
It
then,
goes wild
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
that.
See, I was actually quite surprised with mine. I thought it was going to look a lot worse than it was. So I was actually quite happy up to sort of the top end of the swing. And then you could tell when I was bringing it back down that it was kind of a bit wayward.
Do you know what I think? And we'll put yours up now. What I think is, up until about here,
Yeah.
right, sort of 10 o'clock,
Yeah.
you're in a good position, but for some reason you hyperextend
Yeah,
and your
yeah.
club goes wild, and that's where all your wrists go
Yeah.
and your arm goes, and then your body starts to crumble down, and it all goes to shit after that.
if you were to almost do a 3/4 swing,
Yeah.
and then just follow through
Yeah.
it, you'd be
Much
miles
more
better.
consistent.
Math tracks, I think, obviously when we went to Slaley Hall quite a long time ago now, I think, you both told me that then that I kind of hyperextend, and I consciously stopped doing it,
Yeah.
and not going quite as far back. But I think over time it's kind of crept more, back into my swing.
I almost
You
think-
lose all your control at the
Yeah.
top because you're breaking your wrist at that point, and then your club's wild. It's all over the place.
I almost think you'd go that far round to try and get more power
Yeah.
and more distance, when realistically, if you went 3/4 of the way and swung it through as you
Hips,
would
innit?
do normally,
Hips is the
then
power.
you'd
Yeah.
be fine.
I think you're probably right. I think I probably do it thinking that's going to give me more power, but even though in my mind I know it doesn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what else you do as well? And we all do this, right? We all look like we're scooping the ball.
Yeah.
And it's a real problem across amateur golfers, but you'll see at the bottom of the swings, as we get to the bottom of the swing, our body
almost like it
lifts like,
goes-
we're trying to physically lift the ball with the club.
Almost looks like you're playing cricket.
Yeah, it's weird, and we need to stop doing that because
Yeah.
you lose so much at the bottom.
I'm going to stop doing that.
All right, just stop.
I'll just stop.
Yeah,
I'm going to start hitting it straight, and then I'm going to start getting
Fuck off,
birdies.
Yeah,
So
just do
it's
that.
easy, isn't
At
it?
least mine's realistic.
Do you know what though? This is why it is really important, because I thought to myself before I watched my swing back that I wasn't a scooper. I am a scooper. I scoop the ball up at the bottom of my swing as well.
Do you know what really shocked me about your swing? I've never really noticed it in the flesh. Is how little you go back.
It lacks so much flexibility.
You look really quite stiff when
Yeah,
you do your swing.
Rigid.
And I don't know if that's because of your age.
So, do you know what? I'm not. It genuinely is. So, I've basically got like a 60% swing.
Yeah.
I get up to basically just above vertical, above my shoulder, and I stop. I can't go back anymore. But it goes back to what you're saying. That's why I'm probably more consistent than you.
Yeah.
But equally, that's why my
You have
game
no
has got no distance.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm only 60% swinging. If I had the flexibility to get from here to
Bit further up.
where you take yours, I would be, my game would be so much longer. But part of it is poor flexibility. Part of it is I'm getting older, so therefore less flexibility.
It'd be at least 5 yards longer.
Yeah, at
least.
least me, yeah.
You'd probably just about beat me out.
For people watching this as well, who can see who've had a look at the videos, put your comments in of
Yeah.
what you think about our swing,
Analyse the swings.
And if you had
Yeah.
to choose one of the swings, which one would it be?
and why would it be mine?
Let's move on to yours then. That's another good segue. You're nailing these today.
I'm on it today.
yeah.
So moving on to yours then. So what's your views on what did you take away from your swing?
The golf club. No, seriously.
Well, you obviously just talk about the fact you don't even have a driver in your bag
No,
anymore, do you?
don't
So
carry-
our swing was based on drivers. Yours was based on a 3-wood, wasn't it?
yeah. So I don't carry a driver in the bag just because I feel more consistent with a 3-wood.
Yeah.
Um,
Makes sense.
But yeah, I think I'm very, very similar to Chris about scooping. I didn't realise until you see it, and until you see it in slow motion, how much I scoop or how much I try and scoop.
Yeah.
So I do, as much as I was joking about it, I'll stop that. I do need to change that because you can lose a lot of distance from that. A lot of distance, and I think I think my backswing's okay, not too bad. But yeah, when I'm following through at impact and I scope it, it looks awkward.
Do you know what you couldn't tell from the angles? But you sort of can if you know what you're looking at. But if you also did an angle directly behind you, right?
I was about to say this, I think.
His backswing is so shallow.
Yeah.
His backswing is so around the body.
Yeah.
On the flip side, on one side, it's a good thing because he don't get over the top and he don't get a steep swing. So that's why he never fades the ball.
Yeah.
It's either a straight shot or a slight draw. And it's because he's so shallow.
Yeah.
His backswing is really shallow. It like comes round his waist.
Do you know why? Do you know why that is?
I agree with that.
That is because of when I was bigger.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
And that was the only way
you could get it round.
that I could get it round and feel more comfortable. That I'd go round.
Good shout. I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
And not back.
And don't get me wrong, it has its pros in terms of you're very rarely ever going to fade it.
Yeah.
But it also has cons because obviously you're too shallow.
Yeah, and I think that's it's one of those things where do I try and change it now because you're basically doing a completely new swing? Do I try and change it now and think, oh yeah, I'll go with it and I'll work at doing this, which will take a lot of time, or do I think, fuck it, just go with it,
refine what you've got?
I think sometimes, especially that how often we play, it's sometimes difficult, isn't it, to start changing your game because you're not playing enough, and you're not training enough and practicing enough to go. That's going to make a difference. So I'm same as you. Like sometimes you think
it would take us backwards.
Yeah, it works sort of 70 to 80% of the time. So just keep going with it.
Changing your swing is a significant event that would take multiple lessons, multiple rounds, multiple range balls. We don't do that.
Yeah.
We don't have
a lot of money.
Yeah,
we play once every 3 weeks.
The big thing for me is, and we've mentioned this before on a different pod, not necessarily mentality, routine. My pre-shot routine, I could do a routine, I'll do it for a few shots, I'll do it for a few holes. Suddenly it goes to shit.
Yeah, and I think, again, to me, I was saying to Chris on the way up here that I could probably not play for 3 weeks and turn up, and sometimes I play my best golf that way, where I've turned up with no kind of idea of how I played last time, nor like, well, I did this last time, so I need to do it again. No expectation. So you turn up and you just go for it, and sometimes it's some of my cleanest strikes because I'm not thinking about it as much. Whereas if I play week after week after week, I'm thinking, right, I did that last week, I've got to do that again, I've got to try and do this. And it's, you sometimes get in your own head, don't you? So
I do think to yourself, just try the next couple of rounds, taking 20-25% off your backswing and just see what you shoot. I think you should give that a go. Because you big, long levers, you're still going to generate swing speed, even doing an 80% swing.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to hit it fair there because you'll be much more consistent.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give
sort
that a go.
of stop yourself here instead of going to
because
here.
if you go, I know we're not digging out your golf game, but
I am a bit.
I know you are. But if you're going
constructive feedback,
if you're going all the way around, that might be why you're getting so steep on it, which is why
Possibly.
your 7 iron's really a 4 iron.
Yeah, possibly.
You are so steep. You literally drill the club head into the ground, like the divots are madness. And you de-lofting your clubs, so you're right, yeah. Like your 8 iron is like our 5 irons.
Yeah, but I mean, besides de-lofting your clubs, digging into the ground, your extended backswing, it's great.
Yeah. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
It's all positive.
You're trying.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm trying.
Which is one of the 3 words we used to describe you.
Yeah.
You're a trier. And God loves a try, mate.
God loves a trier.
God loves a trier.
We've all got to try.
Right, let's have a Ryder Cup prediction. I know that's not necessarily a good segue.
I think it's going to last 3 days. It's going to be 2 teams.
You'd be gutted now if it gets rained off on a Sunday.
Blue and red colours.
Not necessarily.
Usually, isn't it?
Yeah, they're the base colours, but sometimes like Europe will play in white.
Sometimes they'll play in purple.
Oh, well, my prediction's gone then.
Look, I think
USA or America, or Europe.
Narrowly Europe.
Right.
By a point and a half.
Is there any individual things they can win?
Sundays. Oh no, there's no individual titles. It's all team based.
You don't have like player of the tournament or like that.
So you don't have anything that's
class.
That's what I was thinking then. Like surely, like there's one person that would.
Takes away from the very fibre of the event.
Golden ball.
They play singles all year round.
Yeah.
This is all about team.
You pick next, and then I'll be the decider.
Do you know what? I think America will win. I think
Europe.
I think it could be pretty comfortable.
They've got the better team. It's possible.
I think it
comfortable
could be,
win.
Yeah, like by 4 points.
Ooh.
I'm going to go Europe just purely because I feel like it's backing my teams in a weird way. You know, like if you was
So that's
watching...
built on no credibility.
No credibility at all.
Just because he wants Europe.
Just because I feel like I'm obviously closer to Europe than USA.
Just because I'm in Europe.
But what I was going to do, if you went for Europe, I was going to go for USA just to kind of make it a bit tasty. But we've got a bit of a mix here. So
why don't you go for a draw?
All right, yeah, I'll go for a draw then. Let's do that. One of us is going to win.
Fence. Well, yeah, we've covered all bases.
We've covered all bases now.
We should bet like that.
What's the consequence for the losers?
What do you mean?
Like what's the
I'll tell you
challenge?
what, right?
What's the
So
task?
if you bet the incorrect prediction, right, then at our next round of golf where we all play, you have to pick 3 clubs, and you're only allowed to use them 3 clubs all around.
And then we'll do some videos on it and stuff like that, and
but
do
you
some
can't
commentary.
sabotage someone and go loft sand utility wedge.
That's good for me.
Why?
I'll probably get quite far with them.
But yeah, so
Let's do that
people
then,
who
yeah.
get it wrong, the winner can pick the 3 clubs that they have to use all around.
4 clubs, including your putter.
Yeah, including your putter. Yeah.
Happy with that. Sounds good to me. That'd be a bit of a laugh.
So when I win, I'm picking your 2 clubs.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that.
You've got much less chance of winning than us because a draw is highly unlikely.
Yeah, but do you know what? My game can't get any worse. If you pick 4 clubs, Osh,
Yeah.
it might be good.
I mean, we could really sabotage you because you only play with 3 clubs now. So if we just don't pick them 3,
If we put some left-handed ones in there, mate, you're fucked.
Yeah, that would really screw me. Not sure I'd deal with that.
yeah.
But
Incidentally, if anybody's got any like ideas for like golf games, because at the minute we're a little bit out of love with golf. We fell out of love with it. Like we're not really bothered about playing. And the few times that we have played this summer, we've sort of played cuts and snips. We've played a bit of scramble. Like the most enjoyable round I played, you weren't there, by the way.
That's why.
That says it all.
The
That's
most enjoyable round I played was when me and you played scramble and tried to break par.
Yeah.
And we finished. Did we finish 2 over? 3 over.
3 over, yeah.
So
We parred the back 9 at Messingham, I think, didn't we?
yeah, people might be thinking, "Fucking hell, you played scramble and you didn't break par," but like we didn't.
We're
All right.
We're amateurs. Give us a
Exactly.
fucking break, man.
But yeah, I really enjoy them games. So if any of the viewers or listeners have got any ideas of golf formats,
Yeah, something that would be exciting and give us the spark back. Incidentally, my favourite game of golf I've ever played was you weren't there, Bullis, and that's not why.
Cheers, mate.
But me and Chris went in April. I think it was 20. Was it 2020? Was it? It won't go cabin because that was lockdown. Must have been 2021. We went over Easter. We went to Forest Pines, and it was a lovely sunny day.
Yeah, I remember.
We had the buggy,
Golf buggy.
a few beers.
Sun was shining.
Sun was shining. And
You played all right.
I played all right as well. I absolutely loved it. I was so comfortable.
Do you know funny you say that? My favourite round of golf was when you were there. And we played, only because we played the 2010 course.
2010 course at the
Celtic Manor.
Celtic Manor
that
was a
that
nice course.
That was class, and you got your own bag tag and everything.
Yeah, it was some nice touches on the day. Obviously, you have a buggy as standard.
You go to the lockers where they've still got players' names.
I really enjoyed Roman Road before the first time we went back.
Isn't he a
and played.
wrestler?
Yeah, he was there, mate. Yeah, I enjoyed Roman Road because I hit like a fucking 92.
Yeah.
I was happy with that.
I didn't enjoy that.
Do you know what?
The Montgomery I didn't enjoy.
No, I didn't enjoy the Montgomery.
Do you know what I really enjoyed? Was the second day of Slaley Hall because Chris was getting blisters. He stopped carding, and I beat him.
No fucking yeah, he
No,
beat
that
someone
was
who didn't
bad,
card. Yeah,
that was bad.
No buggies.
That was great.
No buggies on the hilliest course I've ever
The
played.
greens were
I've never seen
dreadful.
you so mardy, Chris, in my whole entire life.
greens- I was fucked.
The greens were awful as well. Weren't
Yeah, they've been spiked and sanded.
they? Do you know what? Belton Woods was nice though.
Belton Woods was decent. You come to Belton
I
Woods.
didn't go
just
to
me and
Belton.
you.
I think that was before I started playing with you two.
It's not far from us as well. It's down in Grantham.
Yeah, you played Nottingham though, didn't you?
Nottingham was
yeah.
the nicest one we've probably played as a
Nottingham was nice.
group.
We got lucky there because on the way there it was an absolute
God.
storm, and every time we got there the sun was out.
Yeah, you looked
Yeah, it was
out
lovely.
big time with that.
I think we got a bit of rain on the second or third, didn't we? And that was it. After that, it was lovely.
Yeah,
But they were doing a lot of digging up, like the first.
Yeah,
they were doing
digger on it,
loads of
innit?
excavation work.
He was in great condition, man.
I mean, the whole complex itself was lovely.
Yeah, it was nice.
Obviously, we played. Where did we play? When we went to the
Belfry.
Belfry.
Yeah, we played the
We
Belfry
played
this
the
year.
Belfry,
That
which
was
was good.
good.
And we're looking at potentially doing that again.
Yeah, we're going to go
This
back and play
year.
the Brabazon this year, mate. So you need to get yourself down, but it'd be a bit of a long round trip for you because obviously we'd be staying down there.
We're doing conference,
when's
get out
this?
conference
February next
time.
year.
Yeah, just let me know. I'll book.
Oh,
I'll
you
book
just get
time.
hold.
I mean,
get
to
hotel,
be fair,
couldn't you?
we got down to the Belfry in under 2 hours.
Yeah. It wasn't a bad drive, was it? It wasn't a bad trip.
No,
No, I'll just book the time off. But
But that was good, wasn't it? It was just a bit of a nostalgic. Well, not nostalgic, we've never been there before, but do you know what I mean? It was kind of, because it was a big course, it was a big name, and things that have happened there.
That's the feel that you get when you go to these courses like Celtic Man and that.
Nice,
you feel like you're in a special place.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
do you know what? That's why in those places, when you go to these big places, like when I went to play golf in Portugal, you're almost less concerned if you don't play well, because you're away.
Yeah.
You're on a new course. You're on a nice course. Like, you want to play well, but like
tough course though, wasn't it?
Which like the Belfry.
We played. Was it the PGA one?
It was
we
long.
played.
It was long.
It
that
was a
course.
long. Yeah. I think that was the first time in a while that I felt really, really fatigued by the time we got to around about the 15th. I
We
was
had a
like,
buggy as well, lazy bastard. We didn't really, mate.
just dragged me along behind it.
Yeah.
But that was difficult.
Do you have like the one course that you'll always want to play? That you, whether you play or not, you know.
I'd love to play the old course at St Andrews.
Would you?
Just so that I've played it.
I mean, we can. It's an opportunity. We can like get booked on and play it.
How much would that be though?
About 250 quid when we looked, didn't we?
What was it?
Yeah.
Overnight stay in the old course.
Was it?
Bad, yeah.
All right. I was expecting more than that.
I think that's probably the only one over here that I can think of. But then somewhere like Sawgrass or the big ones in America, like Pebble Beach or
Augusta.
Somewhere like... Yeah, I mean, Rick Shields, if you're watching, let us know.
I'd love to play Kingsway. RIP Kingsway Golf Course. No, I don't think there's any golf course really that I'm massively...
I want to play any of the Dubai courses at night that are floodlit.
A night course would be amazing. I don't even care if it's Dubai or anything.
Play night golf in Turkey, mate. It's very reasonably priced.
I'd love to that as well.
Like 500 quid.
Yeah.
Is it? 5 nights in Turkey with night golf.
All day.
It would be such a laugh to do the night golf.
Yeah.
Although, being in the woods trying to find my glow-in-the-dark ball...
That's it, mate,
they'd think
like, if you roll off the fairway, like, it'll stay lit sort of first cut, second cut, but if you're any worse than that, mate, you're in the dark, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd love to like play in Turkey or somewhere like that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a few.
When we become rich off this podcast, we'll have to do international on tour.
If anyone wants to set up a
Golf Goals Grapples on tour.
If we went abroad, so I took my own clubs abroad, but a couple of my mates that I went abroad with, they rented clubs out there, and you literally land at the airport, you grab them at the airport, and then you drop them back off the airport when you go home. And they didn't have the hassle of like fucking bringing them up, or the risk of fucking damaging your clubs.
Didn't you try and shove loads of stuff in your golf bag, travel golf bag as well?
We all did.
Just
We
to
put
get
all
away
of
with
our,
it.
instead of carrying a carry-on, all of our stuff went in the sides of our golf bags.
But it's not allowed, that is it?
No,
you're not meant to do it.
No.
If anyone wants to set up, if anyone's watching and wants to set up a GoFundMe page for us to play golf abroad,
set
it up.
Yeah, that'd do loads of money. That
set up GoFundMe.
Why do we need to be funded? Why don't we just go? Like, we've all got money.
I mean, we can, but it's better to use other people's money.
It's better when other people pay for it.
That's the spirit. That's how charity is meant to be used.
We're not exploiting our listeners, but...
So my question was, would you rent clubs? Because it's the same price as paying to take your clubs out there. Would you rent clubs, or would you take your own clubs?
Probably rent them, just for ease.
If I knew what clubs they wear, I'd probably rent.
You could pick whatever. Titleist, Callaway, you pick whatever, different prices.
Yeah, I'd probably rent just
Would
for
you?
For convenience.
I'm surprised at it for you. I'm not at you because it almost doesn't matter for him.
No, that's true. No.
Whereas the club using someone else's clubs does feel very different.
But just for, I'd probably think, right, I've got these clubs, so I've got my clubs now, obviously. But then I think, do you know, I fancy trying a set of tailor-made stealths. I'll try them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they were an option, but
no, but you know,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it's a good opportunity to try
couple of seasons old.
Different.
Exactly,
yeah. Like you might get like like Sim Max and all that stuff.
And there's less chance of your clubs getting lost on the flight and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
That's the thing. If they get lost, if they get lost on the flight and you get there and you're thinking, oh shit, I've got no clubs.
But then equally, if you fucking rented clubs on the golf course, like, you know, you'd be paying like €1,000.
I don't snap golf.
I was going to say, I haven't got golf rage, so
here's a question. If money was no object, what would be in your bag?
Tailor-made stealth.
But what across all club types?
Across the board, and a Scotty Cameron.
I don't think they even do tailor-made stealth wedges.
All right, so tailor-made stealth woods and irons.
So you'd have stealth irons.
Yep.
Do they do stealth irons? Drop in the comments if you know.
Yeah, they do.
Do they? So stealth irons, stealth wood, stealth driver.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
And then I would have Vokey wedges.
Vokey wedges.
And Scotty Cameron.
Scotty Cameron putter.
Yep.
Not bad. What ball would you play?
Either a Pro V1.
Yep.
I'm out of three different balls. So a Pro V1.
Yeah.
TP5.
Yeah.
Picks. or Strixon Z-Star Triple Diamond.
All premium ball spin.
None of that.
We said money was no object.
None of that Strixon distance.
No. What would be in your bag?
It won't matter.
It don't matter.
Can of beer.
Big Berthas.
Wooden ones.
This won't shock you, but I ain't got a clue. I would just literally, if money was no object, I'd probably just go on filter by price, highest to lowest. Buy them.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, yeah. What about you, Chris?
I'll rock up with a set of Bentley golf clubs.
Yeah. I'll get some of those McGregor ones from Costco.
Yeah.
What would be in yours?
Stealth driver. I think in terms of fairway woods, I'd go Ping fairway woods, G425s.
Why you change?
Yeah, I'd go Ping fairway woods because I don't hit fairway woods now.
So why would you have them in your bag?
3 wood and
because money's no object.
3 wood and maybe a 5 wood, or a 3 wood and a 3 hybrid. I would go Pings. Just from the feedback online, where they're just the most forgiving and stuff like that. So I'd go stealth driver, Ping G series fairway wood and 3 wood. Irons, I would go either the Ping blades, or I would go the TaylorMade 7MBs.
Yeah, they're nice.
They're beautiful.
I like the P7. Is it P790s as well? P780s.
Yeah,
they're nice as well.
P790s are quite old, like 3 years old now. P770s are like sort of better. So I'd probably go Ping irons or TaylorMade irons. I would probably go TaylorMade wedges, McDaddy wedges. Although nice. I do agree, Vokey wedges are beautiful.
Vokey wedges.
And then I would go Scotty Cameron putter.
Yeah, standard.
Or a TaylorMade Spider putter.
What ball?
See, I play TP5s, and I have done for a while, and I do like TP5s. But if money was no objects, I would give Pro V1 X's a bash.
Yeah.
But I'd be more than happy with TP5s. I think they're great balls. Winter yellow TP5s are my faves.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with them.
That all sounds great, lads, but I think I'm going to need subtitles for the last 5 minutes because I ain't got a fucking clue what you're
might as well have been in fucking Spanish.
Yeah. More importantly, what snack would you have in the bag for halfway around?
More importantly for you, which you'd be well involved in, is apparel. Like money no object. What gear would you wrap yourself in? What golf shoes would you wear?
Yeah.
Nike Zooms.
I'd just go Nike all, I think.
You'd just go Nike head to foot. I'd go Adidas head to foot.
I'd go Nike.
Yeah. It's fair.
100%.
No, do you know what? Shoes.
Whatever Brooks wears.
Shoes, I'd go with Air Jordans. Harold Varner's shoes at Live.
Yeah.
Class. Shoe game.
Do you know what shoes I like at the minute? There's some on Adidas.
Crocs.
And it's those, Crocs. Get some Crocs from spikes on the bottom. There's those ones on Adidas, and they're like vintage but new, and they're white with a black trim around the bottom, but they look like a really old school shoe.
Yeah, I know.
But they're quite, obviously, they're quite, I love that.
Yeah.
So maybe something like that, but if I'm going Nike or the rest of it, I've got to go Nike shoes. I can't have a combination of the two.
Yeah, I'd go Nike.
But apparel for me would be that's where I'd probably get a bit more excited.
Yeah. Would you ever mix it up and wear like a bucket hat or a one of them just visors only or like that? No, standard golf cap.
Yeah,
either that or not wear a cap.
Yeah.
I'd wear a cap all day long.
Yeah,
I think it feels weird not wearing a cap.
Yeah,
caps are optional, obviously, but I would always take one.
What's the one rule in the game that you would want to see changed or revised?
Drop shots.
You think
get rid of them,
that they shouldn't count?
Yeah,
free drop all
free
the way
drops
around.
all the way around.
Do you know what I think we should do? Off the subject a little bit. What I think we should do is, I saw Rick Shields do a video with this where he gave someone 10 mulligans. We should play around where we get so many mulligans.
Fucking hell, mate. I mean, he'd use 10 mulligans up in 3 holes.
No, but you can only use that many. So
you got to space them out.
We have
you
5.
got to be strategic with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be up for that. But then the only thing that would piss me off is if I got a decent score at the end of it, I'd be like, well, it doesn't matter anything because I've had 10 mulligans. So
yeah, but your score doesn't matter anyway. But mate, do you know what? I watch them and they're really good because you've got to think quite tactically.
Yeah.
Like and equally, like I think there was one where he'd left himself 100 yards to the green, and really he was a pro, so he wanted to be sticking it with sort of inside 10 feet, and he didn't. He left himself like 25 foot, and he took a mulligan. But he took a mulligan, and it was from the middle of the fairway, and you're like, oh, because our instinct is to think if you whack one in the rough, take a mulligan.
Yeah.
He was taking mulligans from like 100 yards out from middle of the fairway because he felt he could stick it closer. It is quite tactical.
That is quite good.
That mean you've got to think.
Equally as well, if you don't use them on the front nine, right, and you've got 10 mulligans, and then you start playing real well on the back nine, you start thinking to yourself, how many shots could I save myself on the front nine?
Absolutely.
It is a mad format. We do need to do it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be nice because, like, say, we need to get the spice back in it. We need to do something a little bit different, don't we?
You need to mix up, mate, because we've lost love with the game, mate.
Yeah, I agree.
We've lost love with the game, mate. We've made millions from the game. Like, it's no longer we've no longer got a driver.
Don't want to play it anymore.
Yeah, we don't want to do
nothing
it
to play
anymore.
for, is there really?
Yeah.
We've got to the level. We've peaked.
Yeah. So I think that's it for Ryder Cup. I think we'll close this one down. Smash that like button. Subscribe on the platform that you're listening or watching on. We'd appreciate your support, and we'll see you on the next pod.
Cheers, guys.